Hello, I think you can all see me now. So basically, sustainability. So it all kind of started for Storm Creek in 2014. I was golfing in Taiwan with one of our fabric suppliers, and typically the big companies are the only ones that could get sustainable product. So a company like Patagonia or Nike can ask a fabric mill to give them fabric that's made in different fabrics or different materials like sustainable, recycled plastics. And so anyway, in 2014, I was able to do that. And it really started a change in me. And it became something that I started wanting to learn more about because I love this fabric. It stretched, it did all these different things, but no one cared. Like we even go to Outdoor Retailer Show, which is where all the great outdoor, inspired companies are. But I showed the product, they're all the environmental people, but they did not care. Went to PPI, went to ski shows, but people just didn't really care about it. But I started studying it more. And during that studies, I started learning more about why we should start doing something. And it all comes down to the water and the environment. And so when you make a pair of jeans, like I'm wearing a pair of jeans right now, the amount of water that is used during that process when they color it and the whole thing is 2,000 gallons. Okay, 2,000 gallons to make one pair of jeans. We have a white shirt like this. A white shirt like this in cotton can use up to 700 gallons of water to get that. And so it's just a crazy number. So what the process of it all is so like this shirt I'm wearing is blue. The shirt underneath is a light blue. So the environmental part of it, we're trying to control the water and how dirty it gets and what it does with the environment. Like our white shirt right there, when we make that shirt, we use only 11 gallons of water, okay? So, but like when they dye a fabric, when it goes through the whole process of dyeing that fabric, the water that is used to do that, and there's always a lot of waters, like I was saying, 700 gallons for the shirt, 2,000 for the denim. What happens is the water gets really dirty, okay? So what we do as a company now is we make sure that all of our suppliers that supply us the fabric and the yarns use sustainable, focused, ways. So they always filter the water. So that water that comes out that's kind of dirty, when it comes through, it's just like really dirty. Like you don't want to even be near it. You're kind of scared of it. It's ugly. And then we filter the water. Okay, so it goes from this big tank to this big tank to this big tank, goes through probably 5 different tanks of water. By the time it gets to the end, the water is as clean as can be. Like literally, I've been over there, drop a penny down, and I can see it at the bottom. So it goes from you can't see anything to being totally clean. And like I said, we use 11 gallons of water to do this shirt versus 700. We recycle up to 70% of that. Okay. So our water, so we use water as we're doing it like everyone else, but 70% of it gets recycled. That's pretty impressive. So there's cotton, that's one of the main fabrics for like the jeans. There's polyester and there's nylon. Those 3 are the big things, right? The big fabrics that are used. So polyester is made from oil, from the oil industry. And there's just pollution that gets involved. So this little water bottle, this is also made from plastic or polyester, right? So there's 480 trillion. That's trillion, a lot of zeros made per year. It's 1 million bottles a minute, right? So because this is polyester, just like this shirt that I'm wearing is polyester, there can be things that are done with it, okay? So now we as a company can start doing something with all these plastic bottles that are ending up in the oceans and all over the place. So we started this process about 4 years ago. I bought that shirt, that jacket in 2014, 18 years ago. 8 years ago. And now I can start doing something because it's not just the Patagonias of the world that can do it, but smaller companies like us. So when I realized that I could find those fabrics, I decided to start, let's do more things in recycled polyester. So that's when it all started for us as a company. So um, with those bottles that were being done, they go through this whole process. They start with very simple items. So an item like this, item that's a t-shirt or a sweatshirt. So it's all based on supply and demand. So the more demand for that fabric, the more product that will be in the market. So we started with some simple things, and it just changes constantly. So now we have items that are very technical, fabrics that are incredibly technical, like our vest, for example. This vest, there's weft and there's warp. We just last month were able to get a yarn that goes in the warp direction. Okay, so we started this process 4 years ago to turn everything into recycled. Just last month, we're able to do that. We're always trying to improve our product and always trying to seek better, but it's very interesting to me how that happens. So they say that 78% of the people want to buy eco now. Another big thing that's in this industry and the apparel industry is the fast fashion industry. So it's bringing a huge amount of attention into the apparel industry. So a fast fashion is basically like we do 2 lines a year. So we do a spring and a fall. And when we make our product, we make it with a real hard quality focus. We work hard so that when you throw a brand name on there, we want you to wear the product and we want you to keep wearing it. And so we really do work on trying to make a lifetime warranty. The fast fashion industry, every 2 weeks, some of them come out with a whole new line. So it's becoming a problem in that it's not just the plastic bottles and the plastic bags that are ending up everywhere, but there's actually apparel. People are buying so much stuff that they say that up to 80% of the apparel ends up in landfills. So it's just becoming a problem. So what we've done is really just said, we can do something as a small company now, so we're going to do something. So we started this big push. We're making a lot of headway. In fact, 3 years ago, we started the big push. 100% of the items in this catalog, 100%. As of June of 2020, everything that we've made has been sustainable, and it will continue to be that way. And in fact, we'll probably start improving some of them because we can find new yarns all the time. And so we're super excited about it. So we're going to show you some things about what you can do to try to help understand the eco and how to sell the eco products, and kind of show you a couple more things. Teresa's going to jump in here.
Okay, hi again. So, as I mentioned, we were just in Las Vegas, and it was so interesting because I would ask people as they would come into the booth, is eco important to your customers? And 99 out of 100 people we talked to said yes, and then this one guy, I don't even need to hear about it. It's not important. And so we started talking about it. I said, you're still coming to school. I'm still going to tell you about this. And she said, this is so important. My customers need to know this. So part of it is this education. So at the end, we will email you and just show you some of these stats we've been throwing out. I say use them. Use them as your leaders, your leading points when you're making a presentation to customers, because it's actually not just 78% of the customers and consumers out there who care, it's up to 93%. Millennials are in the 93%, and since they make up over 50% of the workforce, that means focus on them and what matters to them. So using that, the card that you will see that we send you, all these juicy stats. What I am wearing, which by the way is new this season, our famous color sweater fleece, but in color block, has a hang tag with it. 26 bottles. I have a garment that recycled 26 bottles. So not only are these on the hang tags, it's on every page in our catalog. It's on our web pages for our products, and also will soon just be an actual component of the web page itself, so you can use these to sell. When you use our virtuals, and I hope you do, I hope you just bombard us with virtual requests. We have a staff that turns those around usually in hours. And so each of the virtual presentations you make shows the bottle count per style, as well as anything else, if it's Blue Sign certified, Okie-Tex and things like that. Obviously our catalog, we can make that virtual for you and put your logo on it. So you have a custom catalog, otherwise just utilizing it because the product pages showcase everything. The eco presentation, we have a branded eco presentation that we would like to co-brand with you, and it shows this eco story, shares some of these stats, and just explains the importance of it, and then showcases some of our top sellers in it. And you can have those, of course, with your customers and your end user logos on there. So just let us know and we'll get this in your hands. Better yet, if you're in the Twin Cities, come in here and we will do eco school for your whole team, your sales team, as well as your end users. And if you don't live in the Twin Cities, naturally we'll do that via Zoom. So we live and eat and breathe eco here, and it's so important to your customers. So let's just share that together, and anything we can do to assist, we're here for you. So I think that's everything about how to share with end users, but I think you probably know us to have a really robust marketing team, and if you've got an idea, you just share it with us. Doug's going to come in and point out some more of our 2022 new products.
All right, so like I mentioned earlier, a lot of it is supply and demand on the yarns. But one thing that we found is that we keep finding better ways to make this recycled product better. So we started getting a little more casual here, but we have this little sidekick crew neck for women that people have loved. We're in the men's version of it. So even here, we focus hard on making things for women and for men. And we even brushed this fabric differently, but this thing is beautiful. Everyone seems to love this. Another new shirt this year. So we started the woven shirt market a while back, and they're all 4-way stretch. And any of you guys, if you're not wearing 4-way stretch, you're missing out, because it's amazing. So this is a Japanese yarn. There's actually tiny little holes in here, and it's still UV 30. We put incredible inner linings in here. And it has a button down, but wash and wear. You wash the darn thing, you hang it up, and it looks beautiful. Like literally 50 times later, it's gonna look so nice.
Don't hesitate to share the item number with those samples, Mr. Jackson.
Item number 2430 and 2435. You saw Teresa was wearing a sweater fleece for women. Here's the men's version. New colorway for us. So we're super excited about that. We sell a lot of vests. You guys all probably know the front runner vest. We've made a kind of a cleaner look. This one here is no quilting on the outside. We quilted on the inside. So as always, we make incredibly good quality product. We focus really hard on that. And we're doing a t-shirt. For Storm Creek, it's all about the fabric. We have been able to develop a really nice fabric here that is recycled polyester, and it's got a nice little drop needle, and it's just a beautiful little fabric. So we have like 20 new items. So there's a ton of them. We always are totally seeking better in how we make that product, and take a look at some of these new items. You're gonna love them. And now Chloe's gonna come in. We've started something that we've been working on for years. We're always trying to get everything into, soon we'll be doing biodegradable poly bags. We're working on all that. But our compliance thing is, we've been told no one else is doing what we're doing.
Yes, so we've mentioned a lot of awesome stats and that we've made a lot of progress in our sustainability. And one thing that's really important to us is that it's all documented and we can prove it.
Yes.
So what we have done is we have organized for each style all the certifications for every component so that you know what's eco-friendly, you know exactly where it's coming from, that it is certified. Like Doug mentioned, all of our vendors recycle their water, they use less water, so we have certifications to prove all of that. And you can just reach out directly to me, Chloe at Storm Creek, and I will get you everything you need for the styles you're requesting. Since we have it all done already, it's a pretty quick turnaround time, I would say within a day. So don't hesitate to reach out. It can be a good selling point for your customers that we can prove it. Yeah,
and some of your customers, your bigger customers probably demand it. Mm-hmm. And so if you need anything, we can get you everything you need on the compliance of that product.
Yep, so we do have it broken down by product, which has been really nice. And we have sent it to a couple of people and all of them have said exactly what Doug said, that no one else is doing it. No one else is as detailed. So we're pretty proud that we have it and we can share it at any minute.
Yeah. So I'm available with any questions that you might have.
Yep, we're gonna head into a Q&A and I'm just gonna be moderating behind the screen. So put your questions in the chat and I will read them out loud to Jack and Jackson.
There we go.
I think we already had a couple.
Yes, the t-shirt, when do we expect to have that in stock?
They're going to be here in April. I actually have them. I'm actually, there's still an issue with trying to get product here. We ship some for a big customer, and some of them are trying to get a vessel right now. So we're planning on April right now, though it should be a little bit sooner than that.
Are any products from Storm Creek made in the US?
Currently, no. We are not making anything. Some of our items, there's like 230 steps in it. I used to make some product here, but we currently are not.
The age-old question, if my customer says I want Patagonia, North Face, Columbia, etc., and maybe has not heard of Storm Creek, what is the best way to sell the Storm Creek brand? And how do we as a company get recognition for our brand?
So, always the best way, we do this all the time when we're getting new customers, is we get them a sample. It is amazing how often, if you present our product, we had a big retailer one time, they wanted to compare us to 5 different brands and see what people picked. They took in 52 different managers from their company and they hit all the labels. Storm Creek was picked 4 out of the 5 times as far as the best product there. But if they would have saw the labels, if they would have saw the Patagonia, if they would have saw the Columbia or the Marmot, they might not have picked us. But it's all about touch and feel and looking. But I will say our product is made at some of the best factories in the world. And we're incredibly particular about getting quality, so you won't get hurt, and our pricing is very approachable.
So did I hear this right? Every product in your line has an eco component.
Correct. 100%. Every style. It's not always that easy. It doesn't happen overnight. When we, for example, it might not be that easy for you to see this, but Storm Creek, we focus on dull yarns a lot of times. We don't want it to be super shiny. And we also have to make sure that fabric performs. It's 100% about the fabric and how does that fabric perform. Like I said when I was talking earlier, we just last month were able to get a full dull yarn in the work direction, okay? We're not using a full dull. We're not even doing recycled in this direction. We're doing recycled this way. And when we switch to that full dull yarn, we have to go through testing and making sure that it still performs in the same way and it has the look and the hand that we're trying to get. So as time goes by, more ability and more changes will happen where we can get the fabrics that we want. We'll constantly be working on it to make sure that it works right.
Could you explain what you mean, the differences between eco-made and sustainable, or is that the same thing?
Well, so when I was talking about
or eco-friendly versus sustainable.
Okay, cotton. Remember I was telling you about these jeans. Okay, these jeans are 2,000 gallons of water. You can get organic cotton. Okay, so it uses less water. Anything that we can do to help the environment and use less water, make sure everything's clean. So some of the things that we're doing is, our dyeing mills and setting mills and, where all the fabric and yarn comes from, we just require certifications. We require that they use, the best chemicals and things like that. And so, that's a big part of it. And then our yarns, we have, like Teresa was showing you some hang tags. We just make sure that every part of that is properly done and they use the best materials in a sustainable way.
So that said, tell me more about this compliance per style. Chloe mentioned it briefly, but what exactly does that mean? And how do I take advantage of this? What does this look like?
Okay, so this piece right here, you know, quite simple looking, right? It's like a t-shirt, right? So in this garment, there's fabric, right? We got it, it's a knit fabric, right? And there's sewing. So incredibly simple. So this here, we're gonna have a compliance. It's basically the yarn and where we sew the garment, okay? I don't have a lot of jackets up here, but I got a little vest. So this piece here has zippers, you know, the labeling different. So there's probably on this garment 30 different parts. Okay, this one probably has 5, right? So of these 30 different parts, I got the zipper pull right here. I got to make sure that's done. I got the zippers. I got this label here, which we're going to have. I got this fabric here. I got the insulation in here. I got a lot of different parts. So all those different parts, we look at every one of those parts. We have insulation in here that's recycled, and it's from a company called Invista, like some billion-dollar company. So we can get every little bit of what's involved with this garment and show you certifications. So you can know that there's no, you know, human trafficking and know this and know that, because it's well-made product and from reliable companies. That makes sense?
We will send a link to an all-inclusive, comprehensive set of documents. It's just too much to send individually, so you'll get all of the answers. And if you have a specific end user that needs some forms filled out, we can also help with that.
And it's a ton of work for us. It's crazy. Like now we have a new, you know, there was a relapse on one of our certifications for some. I don't remember what it was, but so we'll just get a new one, you know, so we have to keep constantly updating it.
Yeah, and you can rely on us to do that. There is no item number for the t-shirt on the website because it's not available yet.
It's the new
So
item,
for us searching, if obviously you're on our email list because you got here today, but we always launch our products via email first to let you know. We've got questions about deep inventory and supply chain. How are we feeling about where we stand right now and how people can know what we're deepest in inventory on by style?
So apologize for some of the difficulties in that our main factory in Vietnam, he's an incredible factory, incredible man. They do a great job for us. They were closed for 81 days. And so in the heart of all this, we couldn't make product. He opened up again in the middle of October, and now we're shipping. We got like 11 containers. But one thing that I learned a lot is we had a lot of interest in some big programs this year. So we will be back in fairly good shape in March. And I am in the process of making some huge commitments. I've already started with him where we're going to have like 10 to 15 really core items that I don't ever want to run out again. Back in 2019, I think you guys were all very impressed with how well we've done. And we're going to get back into there again. And it's just hard to do something when your main factory is closed for 81 days. But starting March on, we should be in pretty good shape.
We do send out a deep inventory report regularly, and we have that come from our salesperson of your region. If you have questions about that or you are not receiving that, please let us know. If you have very specific questions about reps in your area, I'm taking note here and we'll follow up with those, as well as product specific questions. So thank you for all these wonderful questions. Can you expand on the countries that we utilize for manufacturing?
Okay, so primarily we are in Vietnam. We also do production in China and India. Every one of our factories, I've been to every one of them. I used to be there every quarter. I'm very friendly with all the owners of the factories, and like I said, I've been in every one of them, and they are solid companies. Like they're really good factories, and they want to be. They have the same values that we do at Storm Creek. So we love working together.
Another question is about our decoration capacity, and do we see that increasing soon?
Oh, boy.
$1 million question.
Decoration has been, it's always hard. Decoration is a hard thing for us. We have an incredible partner. We had the machines. We gave them to a friend of ours that runs it, and he works hard. We try to get 1,200 pieces a day. You know, COVID hit Minnesota too. It wasn't just New York and South, it hit us, and we, when someone goes down and you have 4 people get sick and then other people get sick, it's hard, but our plan is to increase that. We are always looking at how we can do that. I have a few more meetings set up in the near future on what we can do to increase that, and we will get it done. I have no doubt we'll get it done. And you know what, I feel bad for the lack of ability at some points this year where we could serve you the way we wanted to, but so our plan is to increase it, and we will accomplish that eventually, but right now it's just been hard, and we're getting closer. I should say we're getting closer to where we'll be in better shape again.
Another question came in about extended sizes and what amount of our line comes in extended sizes, and perhaps how to know which ones.
You know what, if you can see probably the top sellers, where we have more colors, a lot of times those are the ones, but I think we have about 15 styles that have extended sizes. We do everything in men's goes from small to 4XL. Okay. I look at this, and then we do 5X for some. So we go small through 5X, plus we have talls. We have large tall, XL tall, 2X tall. It is crazy to me how little we sell in those sizes. It makes absolutely no sense. And it's a frustrating thing. I offer it to help out because there's always that person, but at the end of the day, there's not a lot of sales for us in those sizes. Our spec is great. But I would say we have about 15 styles.
Okay, we have a couple more marketing questions, so I'm going to jump on in and join you.
Yeah, get me on that one.
Again, appreciate the questions. They're great. If we didn't answer them specifically, it's because it's coming in the follow-up. Like, great question about who's my inside or outside rep. We have multi-lines covering some of our states, not all, and of course internally we have every state covered. So we'll follow up with all of you and then make sure that you have that for contact information. As far as catalogs, we greatly reduced the number of catalogs that we printed this year based on usage last year, and just some guesstimating of numbers. While it's printed on all recycled paper and we use great practices there, that's why we also have our digital catalog, plus the opportunity for us to customize for you for your logo. So thank you for that question. And the other thing is really, what is Storm Creek doing as a brand to increase awareness nationwide and actually internationally? We've got some really amazing lofty goals for our 1, 3, and 10-year plan. I can't share all of those with you, but I can say that from our direct-to-consumer business and our retail business, we have a lot of awareness around the country that I think really helps drive customers to you. We do a lot of digital advertising and SEO work and sales on the consumer side that I hear day in and day out that goes and drives business into you asking them, their distributor, for this, for their company. We are in all the Vail resorts, I think all across North America and Canada, and have other very, very large resort buying groups or national park groups and things like that. So we complement that with our PR and marketing strategy again here. While we're not as big and as well known as the others, it's amazing how much traction we've gotten in just even the last 3 years on awareness through those other channels. So I hope you are on social media with us, and I do hope that you have that opportunity to do a comparison with other name brands when you present Storm Creek. Have there been any other questions?
We've got some other questions. Just curious if we would ever add 3XLT and 4XLT in some items.
We do have 3XLT in our best 3120, the front runner, and the front runner jacket, from what I know. I think I sold one last year. I'm kidding, but we just don't sell a lot of them, and that's where it gets hard. You know what? If more people buy them, we will make them. I have no issue with that. I've not had a lot of requests for 4X tall, other than we've made it. Like I probably made it 2 times this last year for some special programs. So if you ever have those, larger programs, we can get them made. I will make it just to help out, but we just want to have the demand, so we carry it.
Could you quickly touch on, you mentioned like eco poly bags and all those other sustainability efforts. Could you just kind of circle back to that?
So from day one, 3-4 years ago, when I started seeing we could do all these fabrics, I could see that we could there was enough good fabrics that we could have a complete line that was going to be good quality. We started looking into the idea, and there's been some changes, like there's the biodegradable, but some of them they're just nasty. They just are not good. But they've been making improvements. So we find one really good one, but then we can't get it in India. We can't get it we can't get it as easily. So at first we're just like, we have so much work ahead of us just to manage all the product. So we just didn't attack that. We will be, by anything that ships after July of this year from our factories, everything will be biodegradable, and we'll have, all of our tags will be, recycled cardboard and things like that. So we just kind of did it in phases just because of the amount of work.
Yes.
Cool. No other questions have came in, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to give you guys a preview of the Sustainability School card you'll be getting.
Wonderful.
So, without further ado, you'll be getting this in your email shortly after we conclude here. And as you can see, there's a QR code on this form, and you'll also get a link where you can take a short little quiz, test what you learned today, and then claim your free sample. So you'll get this in your email, like I said, and there'll be a link for you to follow, or you can use this QR code. But more than anything, these are just such impactful stats that you should take back to your customers and just use to further your eco knowledge.
And every style, they have access to every one of our styles. Anything that they would like to grab, it's all theirs.
As far as the free sample goes.
Yeah.
Check out t-shirts, not yet, but you can wait if that's what you want. But someone mentioned our Maverick, our waffle knit, in great new colors. So you do not have to claim it immediately, but I would respond with your desires, so we have it tracked, even if it's something that is not in quite yet. So thanks for all of your time, all of your participation. We know how busy you are. We'll follow up accordingly, and we'll continue the sustainability education. Just count on us to be your resource for that. So have a great weekend. If you're in Minnesota, enjoy the snow.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, everyone.